Hello everyone, welcome to a new review. Behind us is the new Renault Zoe. It's about a year on the market, but first time on the channel. In this video we're going to take an in-depth tour of the exterior, interior and infotainment details. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, it's completely free, and click the little bell to get notifications when I upload a new video. It's going to be a separate video of point of view driving with no talking, so you can hear all the sounds, soundproofing of this car. And there's going to be separated at night point of view driving with my some of impressions on the road, plus a separated video of me doing a road trip around 300 kilometers in one way to see how this car handles longer journeys. So without further ado, let's just jump into the review. Okay everyone, so here is the little Zoe facelift. I gotta say first, the car looks like a little alien. Even the first one and the second one just looks like it's from the future, I don't know. So just show you the key first. Here is the key. Same as other Renault cars, lock, unlock button, and you have the unlock the cargo or turn the LED headlight. The key is very thin and light. So to show you the headlights, there we go. Now, what do we have here? So we have 100 kilowatts of power. This is equivalent to 136 horsepower. We have a 52 kilowatt hour battery net, so that's the usable part, with VLTP 385 kilometers of range. More realistically, it's something around 310, 20. In the city, you might get around 350 tops, but it really depends on the driving style and stuff like that. This car has heat pump as well, so that's an advantage. In the winter, you won't lose much range because of the cold temperatures. And 0 to 100, this car has 9.5 seconds, and top speed is I managed to got downhill 145 kilometers, but it's supposed to be limited to 140. Now the facelift has a little bit redesigned front LED headlights, and now it got taillights as well. So if we come a little bit closer, before I do that, just not to forget, the price is 39,000 euros almost. With government incentive in Croatia, which is 9,300 euros, you can get this a little bit under 30,000 euros, and that's a price tag which there's a lot of competition. So for a little bit more, you start valuing, but that's it. Now to show you, this car only has one option, that's the 360 self-parking system, but let's talk about the design. So facelift has this new redesigned LED headlights. You have the LED pure vision. Now you have a lens. This is your turn signal, and then you have the daytime running lights. When you're giving a turn signal, the daytime running lights will dim, at least the one where you're turning. Which is nice is also when you're turning, you have LED fog lights. So there's some nice exterior changes regarding the front. Now very nice, we have the side tunneling on the sides for better aerodynamics. We'll have air intake on the bottom, which is standard on electric cars because still need to cool the battery system, or for the air condition. We have here, I think, emergency braking. This car doesn't have adaptive radar, or it wasn't spec'd. The sign on the top is your charging port. We're going to open that later because you need to open it from the car. You can use the key. And you can see those parking sensors now. Well, there's no traffic. Just to show you the car from the side profile. So the car is a little bit uplifted. You feel inside, although this is a B-segment car, you feel like you're in a crossover because it sits a little bit taller because of the battery pack. We have 16-inch alloy wheels. These are Continental Eco Contact 6 tires. Pretty comfortable ride. We have diamond cut silver on gray and blue details to emphasize this is an electric car. You have front and rear discs, so you don't have drum brakes on the rear. So some people like that, some will criticize that they have to then invest more in maintenance. Turn signals, you also have a blind spot in the mirror physically, plus you have standard blind spot warning, only turns on the light. Not to miss details, you have water nozzles on the hood. lane assist camera, standard light and rain sensor. You can see speakers in the top of the dash. We're going to cover that in the interior. Door handles, the front one has a button to lock and unlock, and the driver side has a physical cylinder. Rear, the rear has this integrated, well, it's almost like it is a door handle. You can pull here, but it's nicely integrated, so you have less air drag. So that's a nice detail. But when it comes to air drag, they added this huge antenna, which is rubber, so it flops around on the highway. So that really isn't helping the efficiency, but it is what it is. We have a small spoiler ending with a stoplight. You have a washer nozzle for the rear wiper. And if we back up here to show you the rear of the car, it registers when you go away or come close, and it locks and lock. And new taillights, beautiful LED. And when you approach the car, they start illuminating brighter, and then they come to the full brightness. Also have here Renault edge light design. And what's good is the dynamic turns, the turn signals are, now dynamic. They're solid when you unlock the car, but when you're signaling, they're dynamic. Now here's a classic way of fooling the regulations. So this bumper is kind of sticking out here, so they added this plastic piece. But I'm not a huge fan of that. Might look good, but there's rocks that will in the winter might damage the clear coat. So I would put some plastic foils if you want to keep your car for a longer time. Showing you the rear, we have a fog light on the left and reverse light on the right, and we have like small diffuser on the bottom, so gives it a little sporty look if you look at that part. Sensors on the rear. We have also here Zoe 50 electric. So all Zoes have the same battery size, but they have 100 or 136 horsepower. So I'm gonna open it up just to show you. You press here, and we have a warm LED lights. I think it's LED, might be a halogen bulb, not 100% sure. Then open it, and we have a backing camera, 180 degrees fish eye lens. So if we open up the cargo area, I'm gonna back up so you can see the whole car in the frame. There we go. So it opens nice and wide, and I'm a tall person, 2 meters tall, 6.6, so you can see this is fairly high or tall. And what do we got here? We have 338 liters, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna correct myself. The range and the liters are very similar. 330, yeah, I think it was 8, and then 1,225 liters if you knock down the seats, which knock down 60/40. And now this is fairly deep, and there's a lot of room here. So this is my bag, you can see. But one thing I dislike is the fact that there's no false floor bottom. So I think this might be where the battery starts, and they didn't add any protection plastic here. So this will get scratched when you're loading stuff, and it is very basic. You get your Type 2 charging cable, and well, I gotta show it to you. So there's like 5 and then maybe 9 fingers of height. Now if we open this, there's patching kit below, the rest is nothing. So it is a little bit Spartan in here, to be honest. You have tether points both sides. On the side here we have a grocery hook, and this is all basic. I wish this was black maybe. And then same here with a warm light on the side, and this is also light color instead of black, same as the top here. You can close and you can remove these if you want to put something higher. Have this rubber, but I must say there's something always rattling in the back. This is nice, you can put umbrella here, so it's practical. And that's about it. So let's close it up. A little rattle from the license plate frame, but overall not too shabby. I think we should get inside. So don't worry, I'm far away from the road. There's some traffic here through this road. Now also tinted rear, but look at this. At least I think it is tinted on the rear. I see a difference, but nothing on the rear glass. So we're gonna check in a moment if it's actually tinted. There's always a marking. And now this is nice. You unlock it like this. So it has a good closing sound, but sometimes from the inside doesn't sound like that. But now something I have to criticize is, like, you might not see it, but look at this. Just watch the car. So now it's a little bit tilted, but sometimes the car, yeah, you can see it kind of jiggles. So I don't know why, but that's it is what it is. And the doors open fairly wide if you need to put a child seat. You have tether points, and one thing I have to criticize as well is you have a seal on the top here, you have an inside seal, and that's pretty much it. You do have an extra seal here, nothing on the top. So this car is a bit noisy on the highway on 130, so I think they should have put a little bit more effort over there. Looks like this is a factory tint Roman 5, but it seems only the rear windows, not the back window. I like this. You can push this to lock from the inside for the kids. That's practical. And then hard plastic materials, and you have a speaker. This is so narrow that you can't put a bottle here, so it makes no sense. And then you have power windows. They go all the way down. Now the seats. Well, you got a very flat bottom, although there's something like a transmission tunnel. There is no transmission, but it's probably maybe some conduit or battery. Although the battery is underneath, this is why this doesn't go inside. It's very shallow. The seats, despite the design look, they look like a brick. There's not much design. They seem fairly comfortable, but this material, so this is when the car is super hot. If you don't cool it down, you're gonna sweat. You're gonna stick to this. So in the hot summer temperatures, that was what I experienced. On the top, you can see some sort of circuit board pattern on the top, and headrest goes all the way down. It doesn't have any levels, so that's it. And this car has a fourth seat belt for the middle, I believe, so you can put it in the middle like a third person. I don't know. Let's hop inside. Now, this car cannot lift or lower the seat, so it is a little bit tight. And I was sitting in the front, so let's be fair, I'm 2 meters tall, 6.6 again. So an average person was sitting up front probably had more room. What's good is you have here 2 USB-A's for fast charging, but you don't have front armrest. Now this is the look inside, fairly tall and long windows. This is not a huge issue for the blind spot, but then this area is exposed. I don't like that personally. So let's close up the doors. So I'm not sure if you can hear that. I have a mic because there's slight wind outside, so it doesn't always pick up the best closing sound, but there's slight rattle. There are handles on the top, only not their driver's side, which really makes no sense. This is the front look. And to show you, this is me. Even my friend who's average, his head was touching, so, and also lacked some leg space. So the rear, only for short journeys. Again, this is comfy. There's no middle armrest or something like that. No hooks neither, and this is adjustable. Let's get on the front, where you're gonna spend most of your time. Now, just to show you here, we have here battery information, and we have tire pressure. So if you can put also 15-inch, 16. I believe there was a 17 I saw somewhere, but I don't see it here. And if you have more load inside, more people, more luggage, you have to have higher pressure on the back for stability in case you need to avoid suddenly at higher speeds an animal or traffic accident, stuff like that. Fly go away. Now I'm going to open the charging port and then come back to the front. So here's the charging port. You have some information here about charging lights. You need to, if you want to unplug the cable, you need to press the unlock button on your key. This is for the type 2 AC, and then this is combined CCS DC for fast charging, which is maximum 47 kilowatts, but it's only for a short time. So this car limitation is that it won't fast charge and it has limited charging speed. So it takes to charge almost a full battery almost an hour and 45. It really depends on the charging station. Now I did a trip with this car, but you need to charge it fully to 100% to get the 300 kilometers. And I arrived at my destination with a 20-minute stop and recharge with almost something like 20% of battery. I was a little bit rushing to get back, so I only charged to 80, then had to charge again 80, and then again for at least another 10%, 15, in order to reach my destination in time. But if you prepare, it's not a big deal. You can reach 300 kilometers, give or take. Front doors open even wider. Now, something you have to pay attention when you're opening your doors, if the car is slightly leaned like now, if you just open it for another teeth, it just whoosh goes all the way and it could hit another car, so be careful on the parking lots not to hit other people's car. Seals on the A-pillar, again, nothing inside the door. I think they should have added something here because there is wind whooshing sound and it's not pleasant. They added a seal on the bottom. There is a seal here, but I think they should have added another layer inside the doors. And then the doors, it just feels like a shell. There's not enough sound dampening inside, and hard plastic. So this is the only thing that's kind of soft, and this is a press car on almost 40,000 kilometers on the clock, so there's a lot of sweat here. And over here we have to adjust the side mirrors. You can auto fold them. All power windows can lock the rear for the kids. If you're personally driving, you probably clean this, but it is what it is. Speaker there. You can put a water bottle here, so I have one for a demonstration and to refresh myself. So this might go, this is okay, but I guess just not, probably you should just keep it in this cup holders, which are also not adjustable. So I think they should focus in Renault on some few details to make this car a little bit better in the future. Doorstep, it's just blank, no aluminium. Have original Zoe carpets, paddles, and we have here also front seats, which are manual. Again, brick looking like the top is a bit better, and you have little bolsters. Headrests are integrated, sort of like a sports seats, but they're nice and wide, so I didn't have complaints on that. Fairly comfortable. You push this up to slide back and forward, and oops, so I hit my head on the top. This is to tilt the seats, so there's one over there. Now they added this so tight, so it sometimes makes sounds. I'm gonna pop the hood later at the end of the video. This button is to turn the EV sound, which sounds like a bus when it's coasting or slowing down. To be honest, not a best EV sound, but you can luckily turn it off. And here we have lane assist, so you can have, you need to turn on the car. You can have lane warning when you pass the lane, or you can have lane keeping assist, which is good. You have here brightness for the virtual cockpit, headlights height adjustment, and to unlock the charging port. This is, you push this down, you can unlock the steering column, and you can push it inside, outside, up and down, all directions. And that is it. Let's get inside, close the doors, let's hear the closing sound. Again, could be a bit better. Now I'm gonna switch to my wide lens, and there's gonna be point of view driving video, so don't miss that. No talking in the night with a full review. Zooming back in, dash. So this is plastic, you have air vent blowing here. Speaker on the top as mentioned. This is soft, so on the bottom hard plastic. Now we have a start stop, it says engine. They were reusing the button, obviously. Have a nice screen, a few shortcuts on the bottom. Echo, which I would just not use, it's just the car is like too slow. Hazards lock from the inside and self-parking. Nice dials for the physical AC controls. Now I'm going to start this because I need the AC to start working. And there we go. So it's super hot summer temperatures. I need to have some air. We're gonna lower the fan speed so we don't have noise. And okay, so let's just focus for the moment on the steering wheel. It looks like it's sort of flat top and bottom, and has this nice profiling. It's leather with a texture, not super smooth, but gives you a nice grip. This might reflect some sun, although it's a matte, but it reflects some sun when it's at noon. Here we have cruise control. So I don't know if you heard this ding sound. It's of batteries. Sometimes they release, expand when there's hot, and then you hear sometimes boom. So that's normal. And now this is for the cruise control or speed limiter. You turn it on, then you set it when you add some speed, and then you can plus up minus to change the speed, or reset to turn it off for a moment and set again, or you can press 0 to turn it off. We also have voice commands. We have phone calls to answer and drop calls. We have here, we're going to show you for the infotainment, so you can change, you can see those on the top, and then use the arrows to change the inside menus as well. Your lights are automatic. In automatic, you have automatic long beam that turns on constantly on and off. You can't switch it off. You can use the classical by pushing long beam, but it turns on automatic at night. And then you have the turn signals. There's no options here or on the other stock. Wipers are standard up for one swipe, and then another for the automatic, and then you have the intervals, and over here you can change the droplet size, and this is for the rear classical. You can see here for the washing. I'm going to cover the infotainment a little bit later. So as mentioned, very nice AC controls. You have the aux in and 2 USB A's. We have here a 12 volt outlet. Little rubber area. There's no light. I wish they added a little light here. We're going to show you that at night later at the end of the video. Automatic. This sound, I think they could have added like a rubber beneath so it doesn't sound like that. But it's very nice feeling, grip. This is, you have reverse, neutral, drive, or brake. I would advise you to drive in brake, so you're going to recuperate energy, not wasted. And car is slowly going to de-accelerate when you release the accelerator paddle. And there's a nice soft here materials for your knees. Wireless charging doesn't work for some reason. Electronic parking brake and auto hold. And then again, cup holders that are not really adjustable. So, but you have them. And now you have a nice area here. This is all rubber. You can put some stuff here. Slowly opening glove box, and over here you have plenty of storage areas. So you can see that warm light inside. Now here's for the Croatian audience. So this is the ZOE Intens. Forgot to mention, it's an Intense package. Have at least 3 packages. This is the highest one. And this is like the charging time, 19 hours on 3 kilowatts, 11.6, 22, 3 hours. And DC fast 50 should take around 80 minutes, but in reality, 70 to 80%. Okay, that makes sense from my experience. And this is the total price with option of blue Celadon color and 360 camera excuse me, it's 360 sensors and camera, reversing camera, and fast charging is an option, so it would charge even slower. As mentioned, close that up. Again, the seats okay, but this in the summer is a bit sweaty. Show you the front, so plenty of headroom and good overview around you. This is my height. I can see a little bit good overview in the windows, in the rear, so not a huge deal. If someone backs up the seats, this might be an issue. You can still lick your blind spot, but you have the warning in this car standard. Let's see if I didn't miss anything. Okay, going on the tops, you have the mirror with a bezel, automatic dimming, passenger information for the airbag and seat belts. LEDs on the top are white. You have another light here, white. Documents holder. This doesn't extend, so this area is still shining, but like 99% of cars don't have that option, unfortunately. And AC controls, fan speed. This is to turn it off, turn it on. You can have it on automatic. You can change the air direction you want. And here's maximum blow in the front, rear defrost, closed air circulation, AC. Now this is only air recirculating, and this is cooling or heating. It's only one climate zone, and that's about it. So I'm just gonna lower this fan speed. Let's show you the heads-up display. So, excuse me, not the heads-up display, virtual cockpit or digital cockpit, excuse me. Very good graphics, very sharp, has a glossy screen finish, but it's not an issue in the sun. Now there's few viewing options or like display themes. Now to show you what we can control here with these buttons, I'm gonna come closer for the camera not to focus on the steering wheel. So we have here for the radio, you can change radio stations. You can only see the current radio station. Navigation, you can see here routes when the navigation is enabled. In this case, when the arrow is here, and then you can see like a preview of maps in a dark mode, and you can switch it off. You just need to press this really firmly. And then you have the compass. On the other side, you have this showing you when you're using battery or when you're recuperating, which is very basic. And then there's nothing, and there's this leaf. If you drive nicely, then you preserve the nature. If you drive more, then it's going to shrink, and I guess you're spending more energy, so less efficient. And then we have here car consumption. We're currently spending 1 kilowatts. That's the current consumption, and below is my average was 22 kilowatts driving on a highway 130 for that road trip. When I got the car before the road trip, it was around 16 kilowatts. The average should be around 17. And what is nice is you have the battery percentage on the side, and you have the range. So sometimes that could be a little bit anxious until you get the feeling for the car. When I charged to 100%, it was changing. I guess the BMS or the battery management system was calculating that with the driving style and some other factors. But the maximum I saw here was at one point, first charge 100% to 219, and then the next time was 250, and then we keep driving. The car charges up a few kilometers up and changes the range. So the BMS, I think, working all the time. Over here you can see your reverse neutral drive brake and the odometer. Now I'm going to show you the main screen. I'm gonna try to be quick. So we have here outside temperature, time, user, and this is like your home screen. So you can press here for the full, like for the navigation. You can press here for the radio station. By the way, there's a second lever here. So this is for the volume, up and down. Press to mute both, mode, and sources. So or you can press here. I wish there was a physical button, honestly. Speakers are basic. They're okay if it's not too loud. If it's too loud, it's going to rattle a bit. So very basic. So radio stations, just a quick, you can have almost 30 presets or favorites. You have lists here, you have frequency, or here you can have radio settings, and you can have the sound settings, which would have a live, club, lounge, natural, balance feeder. You can have front, manual, centered, voice, phone, and other, or you can reset on the 3 dots. I'm gonna go through this fast. You can have your phone, you can have big here, call, dates, logs, SMS, stuff like that. There's an Apple CarPlay. You need to use the cable. There's no icon showing that, so once it turns on, it works flawlessly. It's very nice graphics. I didn't bring the cable, unfortunately, with me, but at night it's too bright, so you need to lower your screen over here, so it'd be good. Cutting this in, so here's Apple CarPlay. I'm currently using my iPhone as a camera, so it's gonna be a little bit laggy, but you can see how it works. You can use plug and share to find local charging stations. You can use Waze for those traffic cameras or speed traps and police reportings, or you can see this like a new screen. It's a little laggy, but when the phone is connected and using the camera. When it's not, it's used flawlessly. You can use Apple Maps or Google Maps, whatever. Just another thing, only the driver window is fully automatic when you press it. So you can see the other one isn't, so only the driver one is. Navigation, I'm gonna do it quick here. So we have the menu, have a day and night mode, you have live traffic, reachable area is a great feature. It's a little bit laggy, I believe it takes us a while, and it's going to show you a map you can reach with standard and eco, so you can see here with the current charge how much, and then you can press here and you could have a list of charging stations you can see here around you, like slow, fast, so it's good, but you can always use plug and share app in the Apple CarPlay and stuff like that. Have points of interest, settings, traffic map, and so you can here have connectors, charging stations. You can have here all these options, so you just swipe, pause if you want to read. I'm not going to go through each one of these. There's a night mode, so just to show you that, it's a little different theme, and just leave it on automatic. And over here, well, this help. It has a nice search, so the space is in the middle and it works like a Google Maps sort of, so it's good. The navigation for the trip was pushing me to not the highways, so despite having highway on and the fastest route, so bear in mind that. And okay, so this is the home screen, have 3 dots. Swipe, you have here traffic sign, lane, blind spot, so driving assistance, electric charging, air quality, point of interest for shortcuts, weather. So you can customize this as well. Car is connected to the internet, and that's your home screen. Over here you can push the screen to a standby. You have the avatar with the outside temperature, date, and stuff like that, and then you can have here minimal display, which would only show you the top when this moves, temperature and time. Apps, looks basic. You have navigation, radio we showed you, music, where you use Bluetooth connection or a USB, phone calls, you connect your phone and you have dials, applications, video and photo, not really use it. So there's no icon of Apple CarPlay for some reason. Car, over here have only air quality, should be on, filtered dust, software update, map updates, you have to go to the service, no OTA updates, notifications, and settings, but just to show you car info, so over here, I did show you that, and settings. So driving assistance, same, another shortcut, parking assistance, front, side, rear, sound on. EV programming, you can here program your departure time, but you cannot say I want to charge to 80%. It's a little bit limiting. And here you can change sound indicator volumes, stuff like that, and I believe just reset stuff. Now over here is the system. We have edit homepage, user profiles. You can have multiple users, like if it's a family or company car, device manager, phones, and stuff like that. Languages, there's plenty of languages here. So ones with the voice have supported voice commands. For the all markets, they have that. Date and time, sound, park assist, internal welcome. So just another shortcut here. So this is classical Renault. And for the last keyboard, QWERTY alphabetic and display. That's what I was saying. So you can here control the brightness, and you can pick a style. You can pick a color as well, so it gives you inside like different colors. So you can see that it's quite nice, to be honest. There's a little, and it changes this color. And what's also interesting over here, cluster styles. So you have style 1, 2, and 3. So this is the style 1. This is the style 2. And this is the style 3. This is like a more classical with 2 bubbles. So you can use the one you prefer. I was using this at first, and then I discovered there were styles because it didn't cross my mind. But I think I prefer the style 1, but you can choose that to your personal preferences. And that's it. That's the whole infotainment. That's the whole car. Sometimes you forget things, but you can add them. So just to show you, we go to reverse. Here is the reverse camera. You can see it's on the side. Actually, picture's kind of blurry. Sometimes it's not the highest resolution. You get the angle when you turn the steering wheel, and you can see these waves and sounds, but it's very basic, but it does its job. More about driving in my night point of review, and let's just show you the front. So to open, it's on the right side of the badge, and sometimes depending on the model it might be on the left. So it's this one. You have gas struts, so if I back up just to show it to you, this is the way it looks. What's not good is this is metal. This could have been aluminium to save weight, but I guess for the pedestrians, if in case they hit, they added metal. What do you need to know? Again, as mentioned, this is the electric motor is in the front. It's a front wheel drive. The basics, what you need to know is that here's the washer fluid, and when I come here, there's like an echo because of this. This is your coolant, and this is brake fluid. So electric cars are good. There's no maintenance on the electric motor, on the battery. So you just need to top up your washer fluid, and the service intervals, they're going to change the oil, and that's it. And the coolant at some point, but as if you use, just drop it, closes easily. If you use the V mode, then you're recuperating, then you're using less actual brakes, so they're going to last longer. And in that case, you're going to pull out more of the car and save money in the process. And that's it. So I figured I didn't show you the lights, so you can see the lights are warm. And just to show you the headlights, so I'm gonna leave the key inside, turn the electronics, turn on the lights, and turn the hazard. So just to show you, very nice looking, and I really love the dynamic turn signals, or whatever you call them, blinkers. And just to show you as well the front, so this is when the lights are on. You get the fog light if you turn on the turn signal as mentioned. And just to show you like the day setup, so this is like lights on, then you have the daytime running, and in that case you only get the frame So, but when it's on automatic, it's gonna dim the side where the turn signal is turned on. And just to show you, I think the rear doesn't work. Actually, it does work, but if it's on automatic, so there we go. Front is gonna be, the rear is gonna be off, and the front, well, the car is off, so it turned off everything. So that was it. Don't forget to keep your lights on automatic for safety reasons. Okay, time for the night part. So again, the key, there's not like a flashlight or something, so if we turn on the LED lights, you can see how they look. And if we turn them off, now if we unlock the car, they slightly turn brighter, which is a very elegant detail, if you ask me. So if we lock it again, coming to the profile look, this color is gorgeous, kind of like a chameleon. Then when I approach the car, you can see it registers and kind of brightens up. So if we unlock, you can see those dynamic turn signals as well. So lights on. Now let's check the cargo space, which is okay for a city hatchback. Now we're in the city, so there's some street light you can see good inside, but again, it wouldn't hurt if there was a second light. Now to show you the rear, once you open it up, there's no lights, no footwell, no lights on the top either. The USBs don't illuminate, so I think they could have added a few lights, it wouldn't hurt. So for someone from Renault is watching, write notes definitely. And then over here, no lights, no ambient lights in this particular model. To be honest, I haven't looked if there are any ambient lights on the Zoe, but it looks like most electric cars are skipping that for some reason, although I don't think that's a huge consumption issue. Now these lights, so this confirms, I do confirm this switches off these EV sound. These lights are kind of a bluish tone, same as actually white, but like the start stop button, this one's kind of bluish, and it looks white now on the camera. It's hard to show that because the camera kind of, you see this white, this kind of has a bluish tone to it. Now if we lock the doors, again the whole car is a bit tilting. The top LEDs are white, so if I shut them off, actually no, I think they were off. Let's just switch to the white lens. You can see that there's going to be night point of view driving, so don't miss that. And if I press it on the top lights shut off, so you can see everything illuminates white. Zooming back in. So the car does like a check to see if system works, so the blind spots turn on. Now this could be turned on or off. There's like no light showing if it's on or off. Again, those lights in are white. We have the white lights on the steering wheel. You can see now when I'm parking, the camera is decent. It's not the most sharpest, it's a little bit blurry, but it serves the purpose. Interesting. The LEDs, they don't have that white like 5K. They're more like warm lights, so in person. Not sure if the camera's picking that good. Now this is all good, and this illuminates white. So the transmission is here, so there's no light in here. I wish those USBs are at least illuminated. And then the glove compartment is kind of hard to find it, but it does have that light, so, and it's warm light, so it's not consistent with the white lights on the top. It's not consistent. The front light LEDs look white, on the rear license plates are warm light. A little bit inconsistency there. And then you have the auto hold and parking brake and the window control. So that's it. more tests for the lights in the night point of view driving. This is just a short demo. Now let me just for a moment turn that on. So parking brake is on. Okay, so I want to show you the fog lights and the, excuse me, rear fogs, front fogs, all the lights are up. Actually leave these on auto. Now, as you can see that the door just slides open, so because there's a slight tilt here, so again, watch for the doors when you're parked next to the other cars, not to hit someone's car, not be irresponsible. So you can see the fog light is underneath, and the other one's a reverse light as mentioned, and just a front look at the LED lights and the fog lights, which are cornering, which is cool. I really like the design of the lights. It is very good. The exterior of the car looks good. They really worked on the back LEDs, but I think there's more details inside that they should work on. So that was a short demo of the Zoe at night. So everyone, thank you for watching. Tell me in the comments below, what do you think about the little Renault Zoe? Do you think they could have added a little bit more effort to fix those small details? Because this car would be really great if they did. And as always, stay safe on the road and at home. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.